Hi guys, and welcome back to my read along channel. Today we are reading chapter 6 of Cookie by Jaqueline Wilson. The chapter starts on page 71 and it finishes on page 89. This is Jaqueline Wilson's own work. I'm just reading it for entertainment and pleasure. I do apologise in advance if I sound a bit clogged or bunged up. I do have the old cold. It's hit me this morning. But without further ado, we are going to just push on and keep going. We're going to read from page 71, and that's chapter 6. Let's get going. There, you look lovely, Beauty, said Mum, giving me little strokes as if I was a lily. No, I don't, I said. Yes, you do, darling, honestly, said Mum. I dodged around her to get to the long mirror in her bedroom. I knew she was simply saying that to make me feel good, but I still wondered whether somehow she could be right. I looked in the mirror, hoping for a miracle. It hadn't happened. I stared back at a podgy, awkward girl with a corkscrew curls, a frilly blue blouse, and white skirt way too tight. I looked at myself until I blurred, because my eyes filled with tears. I look a total Burke, Mum, I said flatly. I stuck out my tongue at an image and waddled about in my black patent shoes, turning myself into a clown. Stop it, darling, you look great. Well, maybe the shoes aren't quite right. They do look a bit clumpy, said Mum. We should have got you some lighter party shoes, white or maybe silver. She suddenly darted to her wardrobe and rummaged at the bottom among her own shoes. She produced a pair of silver dance shoes and waved them triumphantly in the air. I stared at her as if she'd gone mad. I can't wear them, Mum. They're yours. They'll be much too big. But when I sat down and put them on, they nearly fitted me. I was alarmed at the thought that I had big feet as my mum's already. They'd be totally enormous by the time I was grown up. I'd have to wear real clown's boots, long ones, as big as baguettes. They look great on you, said Mum, but they've got high heels. They're not that high, anyway. Oh, it'll make all the other girls jealous if you're wearing proper heels, said Mum. I considered this. Okay, so how do you walk in them, I said, wobbling to my feet. I took one certain step and nearly fell over. The answer is with great difficulty, I said, clutching Mum. You'll be fine, Beauty, you just need practice, said Mum. I staggered around the bedroom and out onto the landing. I toured my own bedroom, my bathroom, Mum and Dad's bathroom, Mum's dressing room, and one of the spare bedrooms. I fell over once and twisted my ankle twice. Maybe the heels aren't such a good idea after all, said Mum. I begged to keep them on, knowing that none of the other girls had proper high heels, not even Sky. Wonderfully, Dad wasn't back from his golf game when it was time to leave for party, so Mum drove me in a little purple KA. Dad bought it for her on her 10th wedding anniversary. It had purple velvet cushions in the back, and two fluffy purple teddies with their arms wrapped around each other and silly smiles sewn on their snouts to show they were in love with each other. I knew for a fact that one colour Mum didn't care for all that was purple, but she squealed obediently when she discovered the car outside our house. It was tied up with enormous purple satin ribbon so that it looked like a giant Easter egg. I sat in the back with the canoodling teddies while Mum drove to Rona's house. We set off in a good time, but we ended up arriving 10 minutes late. Mum drives very slowly and cautiously. She takes ages edging out onto the main roads, not making a move until there's not another car in sight. She also got lost twice. I'm sorry, babes, I'm so useless, she said, drawing up outside Rona's house at last. There was a big bunch of pink and blue balloons tied to the gate to show there was a party going on. The living room glowed rose with pink fairy lights. I saw hordes of girls rushing around, waving their arms and dancing. We could hear the music from the inside of the car. Sky bobbed into view, flinging back her long silky hair as she step-tapped sideways. My tummy tightened. I don't think I really want to go to the party, I said. Oh, Beauty, come on, darling, you'll be fine once you go inside, said Mum, squeezing my hand tightly. You're going to have a lovely time. When I teetered up the front path in my high heels and knocked at the front door, Rona opened it immediately. She smiled as if she'd been waiting especially for me. She was wearing a red stripy top and a short black skirt. She had red lipstick on too, though it had gone a bit wobbly at the edges. Happy birthday, Rona, you look lovely, I said. Rona was blinking at my corkscrew hair. Well, Beauty, you look so different, she said. She swallowed. You look lovely too, she said. Her eyes slid down my blue frills and white pleats. When she saw my shoes, her mouth widened in genuine delight. "Oh my goodness, look at your shoes! Mum won't let me wear even the weeniest heels," she says. "I've got to wait until I'm at least 13. Oh, you're so lucky." I walked in proudly, keeping my legs rigid, willing myself not to wobble. "Here's your present," I said, offering it shyly. I'd spent ages wrapping it up. Rona didn't snatch it carelessly or shove it in a corner. She held it carefully, stroking the silver paper and pink satin ribbon. "Rona, come on. It's the Don't Feel Like Dancing song," Sky called from the party room. "Just a minute," said Rona. She undid the ribbon, smoothing it out, and then winding it in a little silky ball. She slid her finger under the wrapping paper and eased it off, and she slipped 3 little silver bangles over her wrist and waved her arms so that they jangled. She held her pink princess t-shirt against her, showing that it would fit her perfectly. She opened her book and peered at it politely. "Thank you so much, Beauty," she said, giving a big lipsticky grin. "They're wonderful presents." "I'm so glad you like them," I said. We smiled at each other. I wanted to freeze frame us, so we stayed in the magic moment in her hall on the edge of her party, Rona and me. But then Sky shouted again, and Rona rolled her eyes at me. "Come on," she said. "Just wait till they all see your gorgeous silver shoes." They didn't notice my high heels at first. They were too busy gawping at my hair. Sky gave an exaggerated double take when she saw me standing still, hands on hips. She was wearing an even shorter skirt than Rona and a little black vest top that showed her totally flat tummy. She'd inked a blue star around her belly button that looked almost like a real tattoo. "Oh my God, who's this?" "Hey, it's the corkscrew kid, ugly old curly knob." She started to get on my blouse next, pulling the pussycat bows, saying her granny had exactly the same blouse. She bought it for 10 pence at a jumble sale. Emily and Arabella hooted with laughter. "Shut up, Sky," said Rona, but no one could ever shut Sky up. I turned my back on her, and we went to the sofa. An entire squadron of teddy bears were squashed up together, jostling each other with their furry paws. "Look at Beauty's fantastic shoes," said Rona. "She can't walk properly in them," said Sky. "Wiggle, waggle, wobble, bum." I plonked myself down in the midst of the teddies, blinking hard. The others started dancing. Rona and Sky, Emily and Arabella, Lulu and Poo-Poo, everyone. Some girls danced in a little group together. I could have got up and danced with them, but I didn't. I picked 2 of the teddies and made them dance instead, up and down the arm of the sofa. Then they had a singing contest. Sky had given Rona a karaoke set for her birthday. She had first go to show us how to do it. Sky was brilliant at it, of course, using her mic professionally and jiggling along to the music. Rona tried hard when it was her turn, but she kept getting the giggles and losing her place. Arabella and Emily performed as a duo and were quite good, jumping up and down and shaking their hips in unison. "Whose turn is it now?" Sky asked. There was a general clamour of "Me, me, me." Sky ignored all of them. She was looking straight at me. "You have a go, ugly corkscrew," she said. "No thanks," I said. "Come on, you've got to join in. Don't be a party pooper," said Sky. "It's your go now. Choose your song." I'd never even heard of most of the songs. Dad hated all modern pop music, calling it that waily thumpy rubbish. He listened to old rock bands from ages ago. I could sing those songs all right, but they weren't on offer. I dithered helplessly. Sky raised her eyebrows. "Get on with it, ugly. Come on, come on, come on." She turned into a chant and the others started joining in. "We'll sing a duet. You and me, Beauty," said Rona. Sky frowned. "No, let her sing solo. You've had a go anyway, Rona." "Yes, but it's my party, so I can sing as often as I want," said Rona, smiling sweetly. She scanned the songs on offer. "We'll sing Baby Boo." She took hold of me and pulled me to the mic. I squeezed her hand. "I don't know it," I whispered. "You don't need to. I'll sing the main bit and you just go baby boo, 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 boopy boo. Just do after each line. It's easy peasy, Beauty." She started the music and sang the line. I mumbled my way through the daft Baby Boo refrain. Rona sang the next verse, and then I went through the Baby Boo babble again. I realised Rona was right. It was easy peasy. She got the giggles again in the last verse because there was a whole lot of silly stuff about making you moan, obviously reference to sex. When Rona collapsed, I sang the lines because I knew the tune now. We sang the last line together and yelled the chorus, baby boop, 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 boopy boo, do, finishing with a 12. I wobbled wildly in Mum's heels and clutched Rona. We both ended up on the floor, shrieking with laughter. The others laughed too, but they weren't laughing with us, not at us. But they were laughing with us, not at us. Well, Sky wasn't laughing. I hope you realise what a fool you're making of yourself, Ugly, she hissed. Don't think Rona wants to be your friend. She's just being kind because she feels sorry for you. I tried to not take any notice, but I'm worried that she might be right. I got to sit on one side of Rona at her birthday tea. Sky sat on the other side, of course. It was wonderful food, giant turkey and bacon salad club sandwiches held together with toothpicks, sausages dipped in tomato sauce, potato wedges with our sour cream and salsa dips, 4 cheese pizza with pineapple topping, mini burgers with relish and pickles, an enormous trifle with whipped cream and cherries, berry cupcakes with pink and lilac and baby blue icing, chocolate fudge cake, and a huge birthday cake in the shape of an R, decorated with little silver hearts and crystallised roses. It looks beautiful, I said in awe. Oh my, Mum loves cooking, said Rona. Let's tuck in. I picked up my plate and started munching it. Rona's mum poured us all glasses of juice. Cranberry, orange or raspberry? Which juice would you like, dear? She asked me. Cranberry, please, I said indistinctly, my mouth full. I swallowed. Oh, Mrs. Marshall, this is absolutely delicious. Thank you, darling. I'm glad you're enjoying it, she said, smiling at me and then moving on. Good grief, look at the way Ugly's piled her plate so high, Guy muttered. She's such a greedy girl. It's no wonder she's got such a big belly. Look, it's sticking right out all the pleats in her ridiculous skirt. Rona pretended not to hear, but Arabella and Emily sniggered. I wanted to push Sky's head plop onto a bowl of trifle. I tried to act as if I hadn't heard her. I ate my entire plateful, though the food tasted like a cardboard now. It was easier after tea because the grown-ups came into the living room with us and Sky was too sly to be blatantly mean to me in front of the Marshalls. Mr. Marshall stuck a false moustache under his nose, balanced a silly hat sideways on his head, and said he was Bumble the Conjurer. He did a lot of tricks that didn't work properly. I wasn't sure if this was deliberate or not. I tittered uncertainly when he picked the wrong card or tapped the wrong box. Rona roared with laughter and kept yelling, "Oh, Dad, you are so stupid." I held my breath first time she said it, but Mr. Marshall didn't turn a hair. He just pulled a funny face, sticking one finger in his mouth, looking all droopy and woebegone. Rona laughed all the more. I wondered what my dad would do if I called him stupid. Mr. Marshall's conjuring act went on a little too long and some of the girls started chatting amongst themselves. "Can't we have our swim now?" Sky asked. "You need to let your tea go down properly first," said Mrs. Marshall. "Let's all give Mr. Bumble a clap and then we'll play a nice quiet party game." She fetched a big tray full of 20 tiny objects and told us to look at them carefully. I stared hard, memorising everything. There was a watch, nail varnish, lipstick, ring, rubber, spider, plaster, pencil sharpener, flower, matches, bottle opener, a tape measure, straw, key, nail, postcard, stamp, little scissors, thermometer, perfume, and a very tiny teddy in striped pyjamas. Everyone went, "Ah," when they spotted the little teddy because he looked so cute. Mrs. Marshall covered the tray with a big cloth and gave us pens and paper. "Write down as many things on the tray as you can remember," said Mrs. Marshall. There was a great groan. "That's not fair. I was just looking at that little teddy," said Sky. "Let me have another look at the tray." She went to twitch the cover off. "Certainly not, Sky," said Mrs. Marshall. "But I don't know what else was on the wretched tray." "I'm afraid that's just your bad luck," said Mrs. Marshall. She said it cheerily, but I started to wonder if she didn't like Sky either, even though she was Rona's best friend. I closed my eyes and saw a picture of the tray inside my head. I opened my eyes and started scribbling quickly on my piece of paper. Everyone else was moaning and sighing and comforting. I didn't need to. I wrote watch, nail, varnish, lipstick, ring, spider, plaster, sharpener, flower, matches, bottle opener, tape measure, straw, key, nail, postcard, stamp, scissors, thermometer, perfume, and tiny teddy. "Wow, look at Beauty, she's written a huge long list," said Rona. "Oh, that's ugly. It's just the sort of stupid, swotty thing she would do. I think this is a boring game. Can't we play something else?" said Sky. "No, let's carry on. I think this is a good game," said Emily, who was writing rapidly too. She ended up with 20 answers and she was sure she'd won. But when Mrs. Marshall checked, she'd made up 4 items. Still 16 correct is positively brilliant, said Arabella. I could only come up with 5. Still, at least I'm not bottom. She glanced at Sky, who had only written one word, Teddy. I wasn't playing, Sky said quickly. So well done, Emily, you've won. No, said Mrs. Marshall, running her finger down my list. Beauty's won. She's got every single item right. That's brilliant, sweetheart. Sky groaned and pulled a face. Trust ugly, she said. She said it loud enough for Mrs. Marshall to hear. She frowned at Sky and turned to me. Well done, Beauty. You get the little teddy bear as your prize. Oh, lucky Beauty, they all said. Rona picked the tiny teddy off the tray and tucked him in the palm of my hand. I'm glad you won him, Beauty, she said. There was a quiz game after that. I knew all the answers in the history and literature and geography sections. I started to worry that it wouldn't be polite to win this game too, but I could only answer one question in the television section, and none at all in the pop music and famous celebrities, so I didn't win anything. Emily did win this time, though she didn't get any tiny teddies. She just won a pen and notebook. Now, can we go for a swim? Sky whined. Yes, dear, said Mrs. Marshall brightly. Change in Rona's bedroom. The pool's outside. Take a running jump. Be my guest. Some of the girls were wearing their swimming costumes under their clothes, so it was easy for them to get changed quickly and decently. I struggled to unbuckle Mum's shoes, wriggle out of my tights, and get my knickers off without anyone looking. I wished I was a lot smaller and my white skirt more voluminous. Look at old Ugly showing off her bum, said Sky. Wibble wobble, wibble wobble. She cast her own tiny skirt and top in 2 shakes. She was wearing an emerald green bikini, high cut, so that it made her slender legs look longer than ever. She twisted her long fair hair into a knot on the top of her head and secured it with a green hair clasp. Most of the girls had similar cool, glamorous swimsuits. Arabella had a red halter-neck bikini, and she looked very grown up in it, though she had to keep tugging at the top to keep it in place. I had a silly baby costume, pale blue patterned with ice cream cones. It was last year's costume because I hardly ever went swimming. It clung to me, emphasising my tummy. I sucked it in as far as I could. It felt as if they were all staring at me. I felt incredibly self-conscious, padding across the carpet and out into the hall. I clutched a tiny teddy for comfort. Mrs. Marshall smiled at me. I don't think that Teddy is really into swimming, she said. I'm not sure I am either, I said. I could swim breaststroke. I'd had proper lessons, but I couldn't risk getting my new hairdo wet. I let the others jump wildly into the pool and caper about. I sat hunched on the edge, feet dangling in the water. I tried to keep my stomach sucked in, hanging on tight to teeny Teddy. Rona came and sat beside me. She was wearing a tankini, a pink and white top with a little shorts. Her tummy stuck out a little too, but she didn't seem to care in the slightest. I'm so glad you got to win the little Teddy, Beauty, she said. I've got a twin one just like him, with those sweet little pyjamas, only mine's got red stripes instead of blue. What do you call yours? Teddy. Oh, Rona, he's got to have a proper name. Well, I don't know. What are you going to call your Teddy? I sat him in the palm of my hand, staring at his little furry face. He had a long snout and a serious expression. He might be tiny, but he certainly wasn't a baby. I think he's quite elderly, in Teddy years. He's wearing the sort of pyjamas that grandpas wear. I think I'll call him Nicholas Navy Bear. Rona giggled. That's a great name. Okay, so what can mine be called? You said your Teddy's got red pyjamas, so yours can be Reginald Red Ted. Perfect, said Rona, giggling. Rona, get in the pool, Sky shouted. Rona laughed and kicked her legs, splashing in it. In a minute, she said cheerfully. I wished I had Rona's happy-go-lucky knack of being friends with everyone. You better name all my other birthday bears too, Beauty, said Rona. Rona, get in the pool. We want to give your birthday bumps, Sky shouted. I'm talking to Beauty just this second, said Rona. Who wants to talk to boring old Ugly, said Emily. Don't call her that, said Rona. Come on, jump in the pool, said Arabella. Rona, come here, Sky yelled imperiously. Rona raised her eyebrows. Watch this, she muttered to me. She stood up, took a running jump and tucked her knees up and landed right beside Sky, totally capsizing her. I couldn't help laughing. Sky spluttered to the surface, shaking her head. She blinked and saw me grinning. Oh, so do you think it's funny too, do you, Ugly? Said Sky. Well, come and join in the fun with us then. She swam 3 strokes towards me and tugged hard at my ankles. I shrieked as I shot into the water right over my head. When I surfaced, gasping, Sky screamed with laughter. Look at Ugly. Her curls are all unravelling. She's getting unscrewed. I put my hands up to my hair. What would Dad say now? I tried winding one of the curls quickly around my fingers, but it wouldn't go back into shape. I had both hands free. Oh no! Nicholas Navy Bear had drowned. And that is the end of chapter 6. I wonder what's going to happen next, guys. But until then, thank you for listening and goodbye.